Good morning.
Hopefully, we're live on YouTube and Facebook.
You need me to check?
Check right quick for me, Lynnette.
Okay.
Guys, we're checking to see if we're live on YouTube and Facebook. We know we're live on TikTok. So Lynnette's going to check YouTube, Lynnette. And then check Facebook. If you got to refresh the Facebook page, refresh it. Go to YouTube first.
Okay, I'm already on Facebook. Facebook is live. But it's like with the suit thing.
Is it big? Is it small? No, but is it small? Look on.
It is.
Okay, I'm coming out.
I thought you had to turn the phone.
Okay. The problem is on YouTube it's going to be small. We're checking, guys.
And yeah, you're live on.
Okay. All right. Now, click on the video on YouTube.
YouTube is small too.
Okay. How does it look right here?
Now it's wider.
Okay. Now go to Facebook.
Facebook is wide now.
All right, guys. We're about to start our live. Lynnette is going to be making a sour cream pound cake.
All right, ready to roll? We got people jumping on in. Want to give them some time or you get to go?
Give them a little bit of time. Matter of fact, can you give some shout outs?
Let me see if I can see the name.
Say it loud too.
Let me see if I can see the name.
See if you see anybody on Facebook.
It's 3, but I can't see the names.
All right, shout out to those who are joining us on Facebook. We're gonna see if we got some people joining us on YouTube. We know TikTok is in the house. Shout out to TikTok. We know TikTok is in the house. We're going to get started soon, guys. We're making a sour cream pound cake.
All right, so you have a few people on.
Okay, good. Very good. All right, family. Unfortunately, once again, we're not able to read the comments because we're using a mobile stream, and it doesn't show the comments. All right. There's Lynnette Pooh.
I'm here. A little sleepy, but I'm here. But good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody, on all the different platforms. My name is Lynnette. I own Lynnette's Cakes and Catering in the Washington, D.C. area. We do pop-ups, lunch pop-ups, office catering, all kinds of cooking demos, and all kinds of fun stuff. So, today we're doing a sour cream vanilla pound cake. A very, very simple, classic vanilla pound cake. It's one of the easiest recipes that we have. I want to mention too, I'll mention when I get there. I got one in the oven. We're going to pray that it's ready by the time we're done. If not, I'll have to show you what the progress looks like, and then I'll have to post a picture later. So
Meaning after you've done baking?
Yeah, after we've done the live. So
after you're done baking the cake?
Yeah, after we've done baking the cake. So the cakes take about an hour and 25 minutes to bake. I put it in, I don't know.
9:30? I think it was
a little
9:30.
bit ago. Yeah, so it's a chance it may not be, but I can still show you the progress of what it looks like while it's in the oven. It was really like 9:45.
Okay.
It was kind of late. But anyway, so we're going to start. I'm going to show you the ingredients for the pound cake, and then I'm going to talk about one variation that I do sometimes for the pound cake as well with the ingredients. So let's start with what we have on the table. And the biggest thing you want to try to do is make sure your ingredients are as close to room temperature as possible. Let them sit out for a few hours before you make your pound cake. You get a better cake when everything is room temperature. So try to keep that in mind. So we're going to start here with the dry. So right here I just have some all-purpose flour, and I got about a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. I have a tablespoon of vanilla extract. I have my sugar, of course, gotta have it sweet. We have some unsalted butter. We have our eggs right here. And then I also have sour cream. Now I was gonna mention about the sour cream. You can also use cream cheese. You can use a cream cheese pound cake or a sour cream pound cake. I actually prefer it with the cream cheese either, but they taste almost exactly the same, but I just like the cream cheese, but we always use sour cream as well. So if you don't have sour cream and you have a block of cream cheese, feel free to go ahead and substitute the cream cheese for the sour cream. All right? So let's start. Now this is a creaming method of cake mixing. So with creaming method, you always want to cream your butter and your sugar. I'm going to do the sour cream also first. All right, and you want to cream it so it's nice and light and fluffy. The biggest thing to remember is that air is actually an ingredient in this recipe. So you want to give it time to really mix in before you start to add the flour. Once that flour goes in, you do not want to over mix your cake. I don't know if anybody has baked a pound cake and you've seen that gummy kind of like ring around, or maybe throughout the center, or the whole thing seems kind of gummy and dense. That's really a product of over mixing. That's really what that is. When you over mix your cake and the gluten gets too worked up, that's what that is. It's really, most of the time people think they underbake the cake. Really is you over mix the cake and you have that gumminess in your cake, so we try to avoid that. All right, so let's get going. I got my mixing bowl here. If you do not have a stand mixer, a hand mixer does work. If you just have the regular hand mixer, you can always use that. All right, so let's start with, let's move this stuff up.
Make sure you're using that bowl.
Let's move this over. So I'm gonna start with this butter, and my butter is soft. You can see, like when I press it, this, well, it got a little bit cold sitting here, but you can see this part is a little bit soft. That's what we're looking for. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give it like 10 seconds in the microwave just to be sure, because it's been sitting in this cold kitchen, and when I first touched it, it was a little, oh no, this good, this good, this good, it's soft, yeah. There we go, that's good enough. All right, I just wanted to make sure, because if it's too hard, you'll have like chunks of butter in your cake. So let's go ahead and add our butter to our bowl. And then I'm going to add in our sour cream. I'm going to get that flour out of your way too.
Sorry about that,
Add
guys.
to
The
bowl.
chime. I didn't mess with it.
And then we're going to add in 3 cups of sugar. So that's 3 sticks of unsalted butter, 1 cup of sour cream, and 3 cups of sugar. All right, so hopefully y'all got that. I'll be sure to type the recipe in the description when we finish our live. So let's add that right to our bowl. And then we're going to whip. Let's move this flour out of y'all way so I don't have to look at it. So I'm going to, let's move this too. So let's put this on here. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes usually to cream your butter and your sugar, and you want to use the whip attachment. So of course, if you were using a hand mixer, you would just use the beaters. All right, so let's put this on to our mixer. Get it started. Start slow in a minute. And you're going to see it's going to get like a pale, like right now it's a little more yellow. It'll get more pale as it begins to whip. So you'll get like a pale, almost like eggshell color. You'll see what I mean now. Periodically, you want to stop your mixer, and I want to lower it, and you just want to scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl, because if you notice, a lot of that sugar and butter is collecting on the sides and the bottom as it whips. So just periodically, just stop it, give it a good scrape, and then we're going to start it right up. You'll see the color is starting to get lighter and lighter already. I'm going to stop and scrape it again. Just scrape the bowl again. Now this seems like a lot. And I know a lot of times, like, it's like, do we have to do all of that? This is one of the most important steps right here, is making sure you whip your butter, and your sugar, and your sour cream. You don't want to over whip and go for 15 minutes, but between 4 and 6 minutes is usually the time that you need to whip it. So you really want to give it time here. Like I said, we're counting on that air as an ingredient. We only have very little leavener, which is baking soda, in our flour. And sometimes, honestly, I have baked pound cakes without the leavener. I don't even use baking soda all the time, and it still comes out nice and light. But you got to take the time to do every step. So let's scrape. This will be our last time scraping with this stage. And do you all notice that the color is getting lighter? That's what I was saying. It was darker yellow. It's going to get even lighter as we whip it. So you'll see. Almost there. All right, so this looks good. I'm gonna pull it off just to show you what it looks like. And you can see, let me put some on our spoon, our spatula. Don't fall. There you go. You can see how nice and light and fluffy it is. All right, so that looks good. Look how pale it is. You can see the color definitely changed. From when we started, it was more of a yellow color. And then we have a pale, like a really soft eggshell color. All right, so let's pop this back on the mixer. Like I said, if you have a hand mixer, that works too. And what we're going to do now, I'm going to rinse my hand off, but we're going to add our eggs. Now when you add your eggs, you're going to add your eggs 1 egg at a time. If you add all 6 eggs at one time, it's kind of like putting something heavy on a cloud. You don't want to deflate all of that air that you just whipped into your butter and your sour cream and your sugar. So if you add all 6 eggs, you just kind of deflating that air. We're going to do 1 egg at a time, let it whip in, and then you add your next egg and just go from there. And if 2 fall in there, don't beat yourself up. But you just don't want to put all 6 in there. Let me just rinse this off my hand, and we'll get right back to it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to add 1 egg in. This one. And then we're going to beat. You don't have to beat for a long time at this, and you just want to get it incorporated. Let's add 1 more. And after this next one, I'm going to scrape the bowl again. Alright, so I'm going to scrape the sides of the bowl, just like we were did when we were creaming everything. And you can see like stuff is still collected on the side of the bowl. So the same thing will happen with a hand mixer. It'll be the same thing with the bowl that you're using. So just make sure you scrape it down. Alright, so that looks good. We got 3 more to go. Let's add 1 more. Pound cakes, if you haven't noticed, they're very temperamental. They're very tedious to make sometimes. And a lot of people shy away from making them because they seem difficult, but you just follow it, it's simple. another one.
Once again, family, we're not able to read your comments at this moment, but we'll try to answer the comments after the live. We'll try our best. Thank you, YouTube family, Facebook family, and thank you to our TikTok family. Thank you all for joining us today.
All right, so I'm going to scrape this bowl down again. Make sure I get everything off the sides and the bottom. I think we did. And then I'm going to add in a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now, if you want to combine flavors, you can do that. So some people will combine like vanilla, they'll combine almond extract, they may combine butter extract. You can combine flavors. I just use vanilla in this one, but before when I do the cream cheese, when I usually do vanilla and almond. Those two together are really good. So feel free to kind of play around if you want to do a little bit of extra flavor. You can do a combination of vanilla, almond, vanilla, butter, whatever you want to do. All right, so let's go ahead and mix the vanilla in. All right, so that's good. So in this bowl, we have our flour, and I have a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt, and you're just going to mix this together. Now, when you do a creaming method for cakes, now for this one, I don't have any additional liquid in here, but if you were adding like a pound cake that has milk, so sometimes when I make my lemon pound cake, those that has buttermilk in it, some people use like heavy cream or regular milk in their cakes. When you do creaming method, you would alternate between the dry and the wet. All right, so so you would alternate sometimes between the dry and the wet. So
thank you, Sunshine. We appreciate the rose.
oh, thank you so much.
TikTok family.
Thank you. So if you were doing, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. So if you were doing a creaming where you had a liquid, you would do like 1/3 of your flour first, mix that in, half of your liquid, another 1/3 of your flour, the other half of your liquid, and then the last you're going to end in flour. For this pound cake, we only have dry. So we're just going to add the dry to the mixer and mix it in slowly and not overmix. But like I said, if you were doing something that had wet and dry ingredients, you would alternate between the two. And we'll do a cake like that so that they can see. I'm sorry?
You meant milk. It's closer.
Yeah, like milk, whatever. Because even when I do the lemon, I have lemon juice too.
Yeah.
So I would add that in. Now, let me say something about lemon and citrus cakes when you're using zest. Because we've done lime, we've done orange. When you're doing those, I always fold in my zest last. For some reason, it always just works for me that way. So like when I'm doing this, I mix everything up first, then I fold in my lemon or lime zest at the end. All right, it works better for me. I've never really added it early on. I know that when you do mix it, sometimes the oil is released. So I like to just fold it in later, and it seems like the cake always comes out good. But we'll do all of those on another day. So today we're keeping it basic. All right, so let's go ahead and add in our flour and our baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Now we shouldn't have any problem with any spilling out because it's not totally filled up. But start slow first and then we'll increase, okay? So let's let it start. Now I do have to stop real quick. I gotta scrape the sides of the bowl down. The main purpose, you just want to make sure everything is mixed well. You don't want chunks of flour or butter at the end that didn't mix in, and then you gotta try to mix it in. So that's the main reason that you're scraping the bowl so much. It's just making sure everything is mixed evenly, mixed well. You don't have anything left behind. It's a little messy because I'm at this angle, but it's okay. All right, let's get it going. I'm going to cut it up just for a few seconds to get it mixed in. Not too long though. this down. Let's take off the whip. You just want to pat it on your bowl. You're not leaving anything behind if possible. And then I give it one last stir. Yeah, thank you. Get everything mixed in. And we got a nice pound cake batter. And it smells good. And for those who like to lick the bowl, it tastes good. I don't like to, but I used to. Alright, so let me grab my pan. Now I'm using a tube pan. You can also use the traditional bundt pan that has the ridges, and I have those too. Should I show them one? A bundt pan? I'm sure they know
Nah,
what
they
it
know
is.
what a
Yeah.
bundt pan is.
I'm gonna try this. If it don't work, I got the oil and flour.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I have enough spray. If not, I'll use oil and flour. So you want to spray everything. You got to spray this middle part all around the sides, and you want to go heavy because you want that pound cake to come out. Now, like I said, this one may not be ready. So when you do make your pound cake, when it comes out of the oven, just let it sit in your pan for about 15 minutes. Butter is warm, it slips out. When butter is cold, it just sticks. So like if you're trying to spread butter on toast,
Sticks to the pan.
Yeah, it sticks to the pan. When you're trying to spread butter on toast, when it's soft, it spreads easy. When you try to spread cold butter on toast, it breaks your toast. So you got to think, when everything is nice and warm, it's just going to slide out the pan. When it's cold, it's going to stick. Sometimes you may have to stick the pan back in the oven for about 1 minute just to get it loose again, or put the pan into some warm water to loosen everything up. So, but just try to remember to get it out the pan, then let it cool the rest of the way. You know, flip it on this bottom, let it cool the rest of the way. So I'm going to start with the I'm going heavy, like I said, because I want to make sure this comes out of the pan.
Angela, we love ourselves some pound cake too. Thank you.
Yeah, we sure do.
TikTok family,
I
Facebook
love
family,
it, man.
we apologize. Which is coming soon. Then we should be able to read everybody's comments.
Yes. I know a lot of people love pound cake with ice cream. I love pound cake with macerated strawberries, which is just strawberries that you put some sugar on and let the liquid come out, and some whipped cream. That's my favorite way to eat it. All right, so I like to use this big scoop to get my cake batter into my pans. If you don't have this, just use your spoon. Don't worry about it. But for me, it's just a little bit easier to just kind of go around and gently put my batter in. So I can kind of make sure I have the same amount, if possible, throughout the pan. I see a little piece of.
Yeah, you got a spot.
I do.
On this side too.
Yeah, sometimes that happens when you put the cake batter in there.
Now I'm talking on the wall.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna get every drop out of this pan. I'm gonna use my spatula to scrape the sides.
Now, guys, you can make this cake. It's easy. It's not that difficult.
Very easy. Very, very easy. And I have my oven set to 325. So it's going to bake on 325 for about an hour and between 15 and 25 minutes. And I'm going to show you the skewers that we use just to test them, to test our cakes.
Test for doneness.
Yep, test for doneness. And when the skewer comes out clean, your cake is ready. Even when it comes out clean, I give it an extra 2 minutes. I'm not going to lie to you. I leave it in there for 2 more minutes. I just want to be sure. Alright, so I'm just going to take the spatula, just smooth it out. Best you can.
You got look like a lot of spray.
It is. It is. It is.
I can't even see the cake.
I know. And it's going to go in the oven for 1 hour 25. Now let me try. I know this one is not ready because the hour hasn't even gone off yet. But let me at least see if I can see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Then they can see where we are.
You can go around. Just point to the oven.
It's kind of hard to see. But this is after about, I don't want to move it too much, about 45 minutes in the oven. And that's what that one's looking like so far. All right?
That's perfect.
So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. But what I'm going to do is, or should I leave it out for now?
Go ahead and put it in.
What I'm
Yeah,
going
it's not
to
going
do,
around.
I'll do a really short, and you can see the difference in the two. Yeah.
Then get it.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do, close it real gently. Now usually opening the oven before cake is ready is a cardinal sin.
Well,
Don't
with
wanna do
pound cakes, they're so dense they don't fall like regular.
that. Yeah,
cakes.
like a regular cake, yeah. So what I'm going to do when they come out, when the first one comes out, I'll do a short video. Sorry, a short video, and I'll show you all what it looks like and take it out the pan, and then I'll post the recipe also. So that way you'll get to see the finished product. Will that work? That works? All right, so let's do a quick recap. So we did a sour cream vanilla pound cake. They're in the oven. I got one I started before, and I was praying it was going to be ready, but you know how it is. So we started with 3 sticks of unsalted butter softened, 1 cup of sour cream, and 3 cups of sugar. We creamed that. Out of my eyelash. I'm sorry, guys. We creamed that for about 4 or 5 minutes so it was nice and light and fluffy. We added in 6 large eggs, 1 egg at a time, and you want to beat your egg in after each addition. And then we added in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Make sure you scrape your bowl down while you're creaming, and then keep mixing. To that, we added in 3 cups of all-purpose flour mixed with 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, a little bit of salt. Stir all that together. Added it to our mixer. Mix until it was just mixed on high for about 10 seconds. Spray it out pan. We're going to bake it on 325 for 1 hour and 15 to 20 minutes. Now I'm going to post the recipe when I post that other video with the finished product, so don't worry about trying to hurry up and write it down. But I will post it for you, and that's basically it. That's a simple pound cake. Vanilla, simple vanilla pound cake. And don't forget, you can play with the flavors. If you want to do vanilla with some almond extract, or vanilla with some coconut extract or butter extract, you can do that, definitely. If you're going to do something like lemon extract, don't only add lemon extract, add lemon zest too. Like the zest of 2 lemons. You don't want to just only add that one because it really won't give the lemon flavor that you're trying to get. So you want to add some zest too. All right, so any questions? Are we good to go?
Okay.
Quick live today. When we do baking live, sometimes they're quicker, unless I have a finished product ready, and then I can go a little further. But we'll be back on Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time
with another live video. I'm not sure what we're making yet, but we'll try to get that out soon.
I'm going to get it out
Greg's
soon.
going to choose because I take
I'm
forever.
going to choose, and I'm going to promote it, and they're going to find out. We're going to do
Always
it.
the one not cooking, giving directions about what we cooking.
We're going
okay?
we're going to do it soon.
Okay.
And we post the menu flyer on the front page of Facebook, and TikTok is on the front page of TikTok. YouTube, I have it on the back channel. I think they call it post.
Yeah,
And then-
something like that.
Yeah, and then I also have it as a short. And then on Instagram, we never do Instagram because Instagram is being very stubborn. But anyway, on Instagram it'll be on the front page, guys. All right. Thank y'all for joining
Thank
us.
y'all so much.
We're keep going.
Okay, thank y'all so much. And we'll see you on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will post another video later with the finished cake products. Y'all can see what it looks like coming out of the oven. I'll take it out the pan. And we'll be good to go. We love y'all so much. We thank you. Appreciate
Thank you, guys.
all the good things.
We love y'all.
And we'll see you on Tuesday.
See you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.